بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Morning students, once again you are welcome in science class. As you all know that we have started chapter number 2, microorganisms, friends and foe, and few topics we have discussed already, and today the topic which we are going to discuss, these are two topics. One is viruses and the other is algae. So we are going to start from virus. When we say the word virus, spontaneously some diseases comes to our mind, but these are the harmful effects. Necessary is to understand that what are viruses. Viruses are microparticles. I have not said organism because they are not considered as living. It's a detailed study that viruses are showing both the properties living and non-living, because when they are outside the body of the living things, they are non-living, but when I was saying that when they are outside the body of the living organism, they are non-living. But when they enter into the living organisms, they become alive and they do their work. They harm the host. Host will be the living organism in which they have entered. So viruses are very minute things which we cannot see with the normal microscope. As the size of the viruses are very small, so they can be seen with the help of electron microscope. So viruses are present everywhere. As we talk about the habitat where they can be present, where they can live, they are present everywhere. They are present in the air, they are present in the water, they are present in the soil, and even they are present in the bodies of the living organisms. These bodies can be plants, these bodies can be animals as well as human beings. So viruses habitat are air, water, soil and all the bodies of the living organisms. When we talk about the structure of viruses, the structure of the viruses, they have different types of structure. Some viruses are rod shaped, some are cuboidal and some are polygonal. Viruses are just like particles. Viruses are just like particles. As I have discussed that we cannot say it organism because the word organism is only used for living things. They are considered as particles and they can be compared as the sugar crystals. As the sugar crystal, that can be the shape of the viruses. They do not have cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm like the other microorganisms. They just only have DNA or RNA and the protein coat on it. Only the strands of DNA, single strand of DNA and RNA with the protein coat, it is the complete shape of the viruses. And they exhibit a variety of shapes, as I have discussed, as I have told you, that rod shape, cuboidal and polygonal. Here two types of viruses are shown. Here two types of viruses are shown. One is rod shape and one is polygonal. So in your book at page number 17, you can see these two shapes of the viruses. And if we talk about the nutritions, means what is the food of the viruses, when they show the living properties, from where they are getting food, and actually the viruses, when they are outside the host body, they are showing the non-living properties. But when they have entered into the body of the host, that can be the body of plant, that can be the body of animals and human beings. So when they entered, they just occupy the territory. They occupy the cells, and with the from the cells they are getting the nutrients. They are getting nutrients from the host body. And in this way, they are just going to spoil the body of the host as well. The viruses need nutrition only inside the body of the host. Outside the host, it is like a non-living particle and needs no nutrition. While inside the body of the host, it derives the nutrition from the host. Next is growth and reproduction. How they grow and how they reproduce. As they are showing the properties of non-living, they cannot reproduce it by itself. But they divide and redivide when the cells on which they have occupied. When these cells divide and redivide, then the viruses divide and redivide. A virus reproduces and grows only inside the bodies of the host cell when a number of new viruses are produced inside the host cell. When a new viruses are produced in the host cell, then it bursts and new viruses come out to damage the other uh, cells of the host body. It means that with the division of the cells, they divide and redivide. And when they divide and redivide, they just harm the other cells of the host body. So, viruses can never be useful. Viruses can never be useful. They are always harmful and they can cause a lot of diseases. The names of few diseases which are mentioned in your book are polymyelitis. Polymyelitis means when the virus of polymyelitis enter into the body, it can damage. It can damage the limbs. For example, they can be arms, they can be legs of the host body. So, you have seen the people with the problem of polio. Polio can cause by the viruses. Virus cause the polio. So the second disease is AIDS. The full form of AIDS is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. This is the full form of AIDS. And the common cold which normally we can acquire from one person to another person. And the diseases, these diseases, viral diseases can transmit from one person to another person. For example, in the last few months and right now, we are also facing the problem of corona. Corona is also the viral disease. So, we can understand that these diseases can spread from one person to another person easily. So, this was all about the viruses. So, viruses are not living, They show the living properties when they entered into the body of the host, and they can cause different diseases in living organisms. Next is algae. Algae is a Latin word and the meaning is seaweeds. The meaning of algae is seaweed and the singular of algae is alga. Algae are the most primitive and simple plants, means they were present a lot of years beyond. And they are very simple plants that make their own food with the help of green coloring pigment called chlorophyll present in them. When we say these are plants, it doesn't mean that they are very big. They are very smaller. They are micro. But when they live in the colonies, they can be seen. They are very small plants. Whenever you have seen the stagnant water or the pond, there is a layer of velvet type blanket on the surface of the water. That is algae. The algae has different colors. Sometimes it is having blue-green algae, sometimes brown algae, red algae, green algae, but most of the time they are present in green color. As they have green color, it means the chloroplast is present inside them. That's why they are considered as plants, because plants have ability to prepare their food by themselves in the process of photosynthesis. And they can also prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Habitat. They live in moist places such as crevices of rocks, baths of trees, ditches, lakes, ponds, and stagnant water. Stagnant water, the water which is still, not flowing. Some algae may float in the water and some may remain submerged in the water. Sometimes they are present at the surface of the water, sometimes they are submerged in the water, sometimes they float in the water. They can be in any state. The structure of the algae. I just want to show the structure of the algae to you at book page number 18. Just see your book page number 18. These are different forms of, first of all, I will talk about Chlamydomonas. The word is Chlamydomonas. It lives as a single and it has different, it is showing the cell of the Chlamydomonas. Cell wall is present, chloroplast is present, nucleus is present, cell membrane is present, and flagella. Flagella, they help Chlamydomonas in the movement. Okay, so as cell wall and chloroplast are present, that's why it is plant cell. Next is Gnostic. Gnostic, just see, and this is Spirogyra. Spirogyra also have different organelles and they live in colonies. Spirogyra and Volvox, they live in colonies. They do not live as a single, they live in colonies. So, the structure. As regarding the structure, the plant body of an alga is not divided into root, stem and leaves like other plants. The alga may be found in colonies or in the form of multicellular filaments. Means when one cell is joined with the other cell and they make a long filaments. The following figures show some examples of different types of algae. The algae may be unicellular. Unicellular means having single cell, or multicellular. They can be more than one cell. Chlamydomonas is a unicellular alga. Some multicellular examples of algae are Volvox and Spirogyra. Volvox and Spirogyra, they live in colonies. That's why they are called as multicellular organisms. As regarding the nutrition of algae, Nutrition, as we have discussed that they have chloroplast, they can prepare their own food with the help of chlorophyll. And the process in which they are preparing their food is called photosynthesis. As the green color pigment having chlorophyll, and chlorophyll has the ability to trap the sunlight. And when they trap the sunlight, as the sunlight is necessary for this process of photosynthesis, so when they trap a sufficient amount of sunlight, this process starts because chlorophyll is present, and with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll they prepare the glucose, which is the food of that plant. So I have told you that most of them are in green color, but some are having different colors. They don't have green color pigment, chloroplast, they have the other pigments, but they have ability to prepare their food in the process of photosynthesis. Algae can prepare their own food with the help of chlorophyll present in them. Even the algae do not have chlorophyll are able to make their food with the help of other coloring pigments. If they have other coloring pigments, even then they can prepare their food. Algae are the major food producers for the aquatic environment. All the aquatic animals, they are taken food by the algae. Algae are going to prepare the food, and this food is utilized. This food is consumed by the all other aquatic organisms. Reproduction. Reproduction, algae reproduce by binary fission. Binary fission means one cell divided into two cells. One cell divided into two cells. This is asexual reproduction. They can reproduce by binary fission, which means splitting into two. Some of the algae may also reproduce as sexual reproduction, means male and female part involved and then they reproduce. The details of which you will study in the higher classes. Some of the algae are very useful, whereas some cause harms to the environment. Okay, the useful algae, there are some how they are useful. They are main source of food, as we have discussed. They are rich source of many minerals and proteins. Therefore, they are used as natural manures for plants. Some of the algae, such as seaweeds, are used as food, and an important substance, agar, is obtained from the red algae and is used as a thickening agent for the preparation of medicines. And sometimes the algae are harmful because they make a thick blanket on the surface of the water, and they so the sunlight cannot reach the aquatic plants which are present inside the water, and they cannot prepare their own food. And the other way is some algae release toxins and pollute water. So now come towards the homework. You will do few questions. The homework is present at the portal, and first you will do the question number 1 and 2, assessment 2, A part, page number 31, question number 1 and 2, and question number 4, 5 and 8. And the next one is question number 6, B part, and B part also question number 12. So these questions you will do properly and neatly. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.